Hello. Hello. Let me mute myself real quick. Cool. All right. So today I think I'm going to work on last time I worked on some ASP core stuff, but I realized that that framework isn't that complicated. And well, I'm using C sharp at my job, so it's fine, right? I'm just going to learn on the job and shit, type shit. Um And today, I think I'm gonna go ahead and spend a couple hours learning a few fundamentals that I'm missing, which is what I was trying to figure out. So, I don't have any necessarily good knowledge of networking. It's bad. Um, and I've been reading, right? I've been reading a book on very low level programming. And I was like, this isn't really helping at my job. And right now, I think I should focus more on what I'm working on currently, which are full stack web applications. And there's a lot to learn, right? And studying low level programming isn't necessarily going to help me. I think knowing these topics will help me and return more, kind of have a higher ROI than just doing random shit. Low level shit is not random. My plan was originally going to be um, so first do systems, or I guess not really systems, but just like CS app. That was the one I was doing, right? CS app. What is this called? Computer system programming perspective. Yeah, so it is systems. Systems. So in systems, you learn about the CPU, the hardware, right? A little bit. You learn about threads. But before even all that, you learn a lot about the low level stuff. So it's either going to be systems or computer architecture. And then I was going to do operating systems because I never learned operating systems properly. I learned these, right? I was doing it again just to reinforce my learning and shit, but operating systems. And then I was going to do network. But I realize that these are more CS topics and not really relevant to web app development, modern web app development. So frameworks like React, .NET, ASP.NET Core, they have all different rules. These they do in C programming, right? I'm not doing C programming. While I love it and may transition into C programming later, I'm doing web app now. So, and then after networking, I was gonna do data intensive applications, right? Data intensive. But now I think what we should do is I had Claude generate a list of missing fundamentals, which I think are crucial to just know off the top of my head. So closures. That's where I started because I didn't know about closures that much. Where's closures? Where the fuck is closures, bro? I'm pretty sure these are the one that you wanted me to start with. Yeah, here. Study priority. These are the ones I'm going to study first. And then, I guess, framework specific stuff maybe, and just go down this list. Yeah. So, I have about maybe a couple of hours to do this, and then I'm going to work on my my work stuff, which I'm a little behind on, so I have to get caught up on that. So closures first. Like, I don't know exactly what to get out of this, which is why I need Claude. Right? I've just been reading this, not this. Closures, right here, and I've been coding alongside this, like this. I really need to get into NeoVim anytime soon, but so yeah, I'm gonna read my notes again, just to, you know, get reminded of what I was working on. So notes on my missing fundamentals. Okay. So source is MD and link on closures. I've just been literally reading this and writing notes on it. Lexical scoping, they go over something called lexical scoping, which is the context in which the function is defined. And since inner function display name have access to the variables of outer scopes, wait, let me just first define what a closure is. Is the combination of a function and the environment that it's defined in, which is the lexical scoping. So it's a combination of the function and its lexical environment. Lexical scope. Lexical environment? Whatever. So a combination of a bug node together with a reference to its surrounding state. A closure gives a function access to its outer scope. So it's like, this could be a closure. Because there's a display name, right? Display closure or function display name. And this function is defined inside the function init. So it has the context of the variable name Mozilla. That's what what closure gives us. So that's good. So that's lexical scoping. Since inner functions have access to the variables, outer scope can access the variables declared in parent function. This is an example of lexical scoping. Yes. Scoping with let and const. Traditionally, JavaScript variables only had two kinds of scopes: function scope and global scope. Variables declared with variable are either function scoped or global scoped. Blocks with early braces do not create scopes. Functions do. JavaScript introduced let and const declarations, which, among other things like temporal dead zones, allow you to create block scoped variables. Okay, blocks are treated in scopes in ES6, but only if you declare variables with let or const. In addition, ES6 introduced modules, which introduce another kind of scope. Closure is able to capture variables in all these scopes, which we'll introduce later. Blocks are treated in scopes, ES6. Yeah. So these are closures. Claude's example. That was the same fucking thing. Display function is returned before being executed. The reason why this function still prints out name equals Mozilla is because JavaScript forms closures. And a closure is a combination of a function and the lexical environment. I don't know why I spelled that wrong. Lexical environment within which that function was declared. So in this example, I guess for display name, the closure will be the entire environment of the make function. Yeah, exactly. That was my thought process right there. Lexical environment consists of any variables that were in scope at the time the closure was created. In this case, myfunc is a reference to the instance of the function displayName that is created when makefunc is run. The instance of displayName maintains a reference to its lexical environment and practical closures. So this was where I left off. I think I'm just gonna go practical closures. Read this part again. So closures are useful because they let you associate data with a function that operates on that data. This has obvious parallels to object-oriented programming. I initially thought this was saying getters and setters, but I think I was like talking with. I think I was talking with ChatGPT about it. I don't know what it said. Let me just go back. Here. So, wait, I thought this was getters and setters. Yeah. Not just getters and setters. MDS talk about objects in general. Objects like assist one or more methods. Data equals count. Oh. Clojure can also bundle data with a function. The more important thing is that count is not a property on an object. It is a local variable for makeCounter that is returned if function remembers. Function that work with that data, object versus closure. You cannot directly access count from outside. You can only affect it through the returned function. So JavaScript natively doesn't support private variables. Is this the only way JavaScript can have private variables within a scoped context? Oh. The old JavaScript closures were the privacy mechanism. Before private classes existed, people used closures for encapsulating privacy. Wow. Yeah, it's not stored on the object. What? What the fuck is that? What? What is that? How is closures... Okay. What about closures do I need to know in modern programming? Like, for example, with React. I want to know... You do not necessarily use closures directly in the same way you consciously instantiate a class, but React relies on them constantly. The important thing is not memorizing the definition anymore. The important thing is understanding functions remember variables from the render they were created. Like a use effect. The most important closure concept. Every render of a React component creates a new scope. Holy fuck. Yeah, this is a closure then. They're returning... Wait, hold on, that's kind of fucking... Handle click closes over the count from that render. What? I don't get this. Handle click closes over the count. Oh yeah, you're... Yeah. So... Wow. Okay, so when you return like a component with like a handle on click button, when you use that component itself, will it remember that render? Same way closures remember the lexical scope. Wait, hold on, let's talk more of this example. What the fuck? 0? Is it because delayed log doesn't remember the count? Because... Oh! It's out of scope, right? This count plus 1 happens here. Oh, what the fuck? I don't know. What the fuck? Why functional loops? Wait, why did I never fucking learn this? I feel like school should fucking teach this shit. Yeah, this is a little confusing now. Use effect dependency arrays are closure related. My legs are killing me right now. Alright, I'm gonna read the rest and just look at the React examples, I think. Practical closure. Closures are useful because they let you associate data with a function that operates on that data. This has obvious parallels to object-oriented programming, where objects allow you to associate data with one or more methods. Consequently, you can use a closure anywhere that you might normally use an object with a single method. You can use a closure anywhere that you might normally use an object with a single method. Situation where you might want to do this particularly common on the web. Much of the code written on the front end is event-based. You define some behavior and then attach it to an event that is triggered by the user. The code is attached as a callback. For instance, suppose we want to add buttons to the page that adjust the text size. One way of doing this is to specify the font size of the body and then set the size of the other elements using EM. Such interactive text size buttons can change the font size property, and the adjustments are picked up by other elements on the page thanks to the relative units. You don't have to do it this way though. This is one way of doing it, right? What you can do is just have a button that makes the font size bigger. Do you really need the closure for that? You don't need the closure. This is just one use case, right? It's like a complicated way of doing it. I guess if you want to have fixed sizes like that, then yeah, maybe. So what happens here is that when you call const size 12 make sizer 12, you're initializing make sizer with size equals 12. Size is a variable within this function scope, and make sizer function or size 12 is going to remember that variable because this function right here remembers size as 12 when it's created because it is, lexical environment. I guess what ChatGPT was saying here is that it can work backwards, or it can work towards our favor in this example, but for other examples it could work towards our disadvantage, or some behavior that we don't want, like a bug. So here, set timeout well, count is initialized as 0 by the time function delayed is created. I don't know where that is. So like this defines make sizer to be 12. What is the function that defines count to be 0? I'm not totally sure on that. Like, I don't know which one. Maybe just declaring it here and having the count as 0. Because I guess for this one, you never really initialize size properly, right? So when you want to change that variable, you have to pass it as a parameter, not a fixed variable name. I think that's how it works. So right here, delayed log. I think the way you fix this is you pass in a parameter count, maybe. I don't fucking know if that's gonna help. Bro, I don't know. Let's just focus on this for now. Emulating private methods with closures. Languages such as Java allow you to declare methods as private, meaning they can only be accessed by other methods in the same class. Java, prior to classes, didn't have a native way, JavaScript, but it was possible to emulate private classes using closures. Private methods aren't just useful for restricting access code, they're a powerful way of managing your global namespace. The following code illustrates how to use closures to define public functions that can access private functions and variables. Note that closures also follow module design pattern. What the fuck is that? Design pattern used to emulate the concept of classes, allowing you to group public and private methods as variables inside a single object. Oh. Okay. Just like OOP shit? Alright. Oh my god, this is a long ass article, dude. Const counter equals function, let private counter equals 0, function changed by value, private counter plus equals value. The counter is, hold on, counter. Oh, okay, it's defining a, what is that doing? What the hell? Are you saying the counter is a function? Is that how you define objects in JavaScript? That is very weird. I guess it is. No, 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 no. So it can allow you to declare private variables. Methods. Private methods. Okay. So private methods basically mean that they're not really getters and setters. They're like functions defined within the class that you could, only that object can access. Right. That's basically the definition. I don't understand this part, but okay. I'm just gonna assume counter is a function then. It's a big fucking function. It's a big arrow function. So you have a local variable private counter. You have a function changed by value. Private counter plus equals value. Okay. That doesn't really have, I guess that could be a private variable also. You return increment, decrement, and the value. This is like a getter, I guess. Oh, can you not use change by? Oh yeah, you can't. You can't use change by at all, right? Oh, that's cool. Private counter. Oh, interesting. Previously, each closure had its own lexical environment. Here, though, there's a single lexical environment that is shared by three functions: counter, increment, decrement, and value. The shared lexical environment is created in the body of an anonymous function, which is executed as soon as it has been defined. The lexical environment contains two private items. So you can, okay. You can't access either of these private methods members outside the anonymous function. Instead, you indirectly access them using three public functions. Oh, those three public functions form closures that share the same identical environment. Thanks to JavaScript's lexical scoping, they each have access to the private counter variable and the change by function. Oh, bro. Oh my god. Let me try out this code. I'm gonna try that out. I need Node, right? Wait, how do you run Node scripts? Let's go here. Interesting. So can you not do like... Can you not do that? It's not a function. Huh. Counter is value decrement increment. Oh my god. That's so cool. What the fuck? The shared lexical environment is created in the body of an anonymous function, which is executed as soon as it has been defined. Okay. A nested function's access to the outer function scope includes the enclosing scope of the other function, effectively creating a chain of function scopes. A nested function's access to the outer function scope includes the enclosing scope of the outer function. What the fuck does that mean? There's a function that returns b. Oh, okay. So this function has access to all its stuff. Hmm. block scoped variable y. What? Oh my god. Module scoped. Module, same thing, JavaScript. What is a module in this case then? Cool. Okay, well, yeah, these are important to write down. Some a wait, how did you Whoa. Trying to get 20, right? Result. That's kind of confusing. Anyways, nested functions. Variables and block scopes and module scopes. Interesting. Wow. It can persist over multiple files. Common bug. For item. Okay, so let var, they're important because of closures. We need to understand this. You have the HTML code here. You have the JavaScript code here. The function show help gets the I gotta go take a shit. Hiya. Hey.
Trust me, on this business of proofs, intuition can only carry you so far.
Stop! You say this word as if it is nothing. Is that all it is to you? All that I am?
Look, I'm sorry. I'm missing something.
You've never even seen me. You are a man of no faith. I don't see pictures of anyone here, not even family. Who are you, Mr. Hardy?
How dare you? How dare you judge me?
But it is you who does of me, don't you see?
Quite frankly, I don't.
Don't you know what I've given up to be here? Do you even see the bruises on my face? I have a wife, Mr. Hardy.
You left this for you to see for yourself. Your theorem on primes is wrong.
It's not. Can't be.
If you compare prime number of approximation with the actual number of prime, calculation tells us what?
It always moves higher.
Even at 1,000, a million, a billion, trillion. Yes? Where's the proof?
I gave it to you. It proves it.
No, because however intuitively obvious it may seem, when subject to calculation, it fails. Mr. Littlewood has calculated a number, and it shows that your theorem will sometimes predict less, not more, than the actual number of primes. Your theorem is wrong, and this is why we cannot publish any more until you finally trust me on this business of proofs. Intuition can only carry you so far.
Stop! You say this word as if it is nothing. Is that all it is to you? All that I am?
Look, I'm sorry. I'm missing something.
You've never even seen me. You are a man of no faith. I don't see pictures of anyone here, not even family. Who are you, Mr. Hardy?
How dare you? How dare you judge me?
But it is you who does of me, don't you see?
Quite frankly, I don't.
Don't you know what I've given up to be here? Do you even see the bruises on my face? I have a wife, Mr. Hardy.
Damn. Okay, hold on. I think that was enough closure stuff. I'm gonna work on my work. Alright. Get my fucking work laptop. Ay. My work. Bring the whole goddamn thing. Alright, so the goal here today should be... I think I'm still recording. I'll just keep recording. I'm gonna spend my day today... Understanding. Goal is understanding. What the fuck? Is there comments on here? Nope. Why is it on the den, bro? Wait, what's the page? What's the freaking page? this is the people page. So this whole thing, people grid view. So that's the people page toolbar. People page toolbar. So manage people. The button. Set cursor priv. This is probably the toolbar, right? It is. Settings. Sure, there's a button for settings. No. Remove person popover. So yeah, this is the page for displaying everything here. The pattern is you declare active work center ID, save to selections. I don't know what that is. Sidebar note. Try this. Page notes by work center ID. I'm assuming this is like preference. So sidebar note has content. Sidebar note has content. Default employees by shift by group. Default employees. Why are we getting default employees by shift by group? Assigned employee set. Why do I need this? Use external. Show assignments dialog. I don't know what day cursor is. What is that? Here's overrise assignments. Okay, I'm gonna actually have to probably stop streaming because I'm working on my work shit. So I'll just commit this. And work on this later because I think I can't be talking about it. So, yep. Today was a good stream. See you guys.